day, my dear learners. How are you today? I hope that you're doing great. Welcome to our Grade 5 Mathematics class. This is our module number 1 for the third quarter. Our learning objectives. After going through this module, you are expected to visualize and describe percent and its relationship to fractions, ratios, and decimal numbers using model. But before we're going to start, let's have the pretest first. Direction. Answer the questions below based on the drawing. And here is the drawing. It is actually a 100 square grid with different fruits in it. So I used apple, guava, atis, avocado, papaya, and mangoes. So let's start. Question number 1. How many fruits are there in all? So I'll give you 5 seconds to answer this question. Your time is up. So the answer is, of course, there are 100 fruits in all. That's correct. Question number 2. How will you say or write it in fraction? Your timer starts now. And the answer is 100 hundredths or 1. Question number 3. What percent of the fruits are mangoes? And here are the mangoes. I'll give you 5 seconds again to count how many mangoes are there. Time is up. So there are 22 mangoes in all, so that would mean that is 22%. Number 4. How will you write it in fraction? 22%. And that is 22 hundredths or 11 fiftieths in fraction. Question number 5. What percent of the fruits are apples? And here are the apples. I'll give you 5 seconds to count. And your time is up. So there are 11 apples, and that would mean 11%. Question number 6. How will you write it in decimal? And the answer is 0.11, or we should read that as 11 hundredths. Question number 7. What percent of the fruits are atis? And here are the atis. I'll give you another 5 seconds to count the number of atis. And there are 19 atis in all. That would mean 19%. Question number 8. How will you write 19% in ratio? I'll give you another 5 seconds to answer. And the answer is 19 is to 100 using the phrase form, or 19 is to 100 using the colon form. Question number 9. What percent of the fruits are avocados and papayas? And here are the avocados and papayas. I'll give you 5 seconds to count, and your timer starts now. Your time is up. So how many? So there are 36 in all. That would mean 36%. Question number 10. How will you write 36% in decimal? I'll give you another 5 seconds to answer. Your time is up. So what's the answer? It should be 0.36 or 36 hundredths. Now let's proceed to our review. Read each item carefully and encircle the letter of the correct answer. Question number 1. What is the product of 6 and 35 hundredths and 1/10? And here are your choices. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. Okay, your time is up. The answer is letter D. Question number 2. 478,000 times 100 is, and here are your choices. I'll give you another 5 seconds to answer. correct answer is letter C. Question number 3. If you multiply 100 by 5/10, what is the product? And here are your choices. I'll give you another 5 seconds to answer. And your time is up. So the answer is letter A, 50. Next question, number 4. 3/4 is equivalent to, and here are your choices. I'll give you another 5 seconds to answer. Your time is up. So the correct answer is letter A, 75/100 or 75%. And question number 5. What is 1/2 of 75? Here are your choices. I'll give you another 5 seconds to answer. Your time is up. The correct answer is letter A, 37 5/10. Let us now proceed to our lesson for today. Have you encountered the word percent? Where do you usually see this symbol? Okay, so I have here different advertisement coming from different stores. And we have here 80% off. The other one offers up to 70% off. And this one is up to 60% off. And the other one is a mega sale best offer. What about 100% off? Is it possible to say 100% off? Let's find out. Percent mean per 100 or for every 100. It comes from the Latin words per and centum. The symbol used is percent. So I have here a 100 square grid. This is a 10 by 10 square grids representing 100% or one whole. As you notice, there are 50 square grids with red color, and that represents 50%. How about this? How many square grids are colored yellow? So let's count. There are 5, and that would represent 5%. Adding 50% and 5%, and that is 55%. Therefore, the remaining unshaded, that would mean there are 45 unshaded parts or 45%. So adding all of this, that will give us 100%. A percent is a ratio whose denominator is 100. Percent is another way of saying 100 or in 100. We read 5% as 500s or 5 in 100, while 50% as 50 hundreds or 50 in 100, and 45% as 45 hundreds or 40 in 100. In this 100 square grid, there are 75 squares that are shaded. This can be written as follows. The symbol 75% is read as 75%. In percent, it is 75%, while in fraction, it is 75 hundredths, in decimal, it is 75 hundredths, and in ratio, it is written as 75:100. 75% in fraction is 75 hundredths, and is written in decimal form as 75 hundredths. Both fraction and decimals are read as 75 hundredths, which means 75 out of 100. It is written as 3/4 in the lowest term. This picture shows 3/4 shaded parts. 100 square grids were divided into 4 equal parts, leaving 25 square grids each part. One part is 1/4 or 25 hundredths, and that is the unshaded part, while 3 parts or 3/4 or 75 hundredths are the shaded parts. To change 3/4 to percent, multiply it into a fraction equal to 1, giving you a denominator of 100. So we have 3/4. As I said, we're going to multiply it to a fraction equals to 1. What number are you going to multiply to 4 to make it 100? So we use 25, and that's 25 25ths. 4 times 25 is 100, and 3 times 25 is 75. Therefore, 3/4 becomes 75 hundredths. Or in ratio, that is 75:100. Or in percent, it is 75%. And in decimal, it is 75 hundredths. What about 1/4? Doing the same, multiply it to a fraction equal to 1. And that's 25 25ths. Multiplying 4 and 25 will give you 100. And and multiplying the numerator, 1 times 25 is 25. Therefore, 1/4 becomes 25 hundredths, or 25 is to 100 in ratio, and 25 in percent, and 25 hundredths in decimal. The following objects represent one whole or 100%. For example, a sheet of paper, an apple, a cake, or an egg pie. So let us get this egg pie. This egg pie was divided into 8 equal parts. Let us further analyze. So we have here 8/8 or 8/8. That would mean out of 8 equal parts, you took 8 parts. Therefore, you were able to get 100% of it, or 1 whole, or 1:1. Now, getting 4 equal parts out of 8 equal parts, and that is 4/8, or obviously that is 1/2 based on the illustration, or 50 hundredths in fraction, or 50%, or 50 hundredths in decimal, or 1:2 in ratio. Now getting another 2 parts out of 8 equal parts, and that is 2/8, or obviously again that would mean 1/4 based on the drawing, or 25 hundredths, or 25%, or 25 hundredths in decimal, or 1:4 in ratio. This picture shows 125 shaded parts. This illustrates the fact that 125% is shaded, or 125 hundredths, or 1 and 25 hundredths, or 1 and 1/4. As you can see, this 100 square grids shaded gray represents one whole, and this part is 1/4. Therefore, we have 1 and 1/4. A set of any number of objects is also equal to 100% because a set refers to one group. So let's have this example. A set of 5 apples represent 100%. So each of the apple is 20% of the set of 5. So we have 20 and 20, that would be equal to 100% in all. Each apple is 1/5 of the set. So 1/5 is equals to 20%. Also 20% is equal to 20 hundredths, or 20 is to 100. Fractions with denominator 10 can easily be changed into fraction with denominator 100. Thus, 2/10 is equals to 20% by following how it is being computed in this manner. So let us now proceed to our activities. Activity number 1, read and answer each question. Question number 1, what does the word percent mean? Question number 2, express 16 hundredths and 35 is to 100 as percent. So I'll give you 5 seconds to answer these 2 questions. Time is up, so let's proceed to the next question. Question number 3, what fraction is shown by the shaded figures in the set? Question number 4, illustrate 5:10 using squares. And the last question, number 5. How will you change 20 50ths into percent by changing the denominator into 100? Another 5 seconds. Let's proceed to activity number 2. Give the fraction and ratio for the shaded figures or parts in each set. Let's proceed to the next activity, number 3. Let us now proceed to our wrap-up. Fill in each blank with the correct word. Choose the correct word in the box, and here are the words in the box. Percent means number 1. What do you think is it? The symbol for percent is, that will be the question number 2, and number 3, the symbol percent replaces per hundred in A, and the denominator 100, or in number 4, in a fraction. Percent can be written as, that will be the question for number 5, decimal and ratio. So that's all for the wrap-up. Let us now proceed to the next part of this module, which is the value wheel. Ricky went to the mall on sale day. He wanted to buy a new running shoes for his jogging routine every morning. On the first store, he was offered half the price less, while the other store offers 60% off on the same brand of shoes with the same original price. And here are the questions. Question number 1. If you were Ricky, what offer will you choose? Why? Question number 2. What values did you learn from this short passage? Number 3. Why do we have to be wise in buying? Number 4. Why do we have to save? And last question, number 5. What is the importance of jogging every morning? Take note, class, that you are going to write your answers to a blank sheet of paper for these questions. Let us now proceed to your post-test. Direction: write the missing number for each letter in the blank. Number 1. 57% is equals to A hundreds. What does A mean? Number 2. 29 hundredths is equals to B percent. Number 3. 85%, and that the answer represents letter C. And what is it? Next, illustrate each set. Tell what percent of the set is a smaller number. Number 1. 3 in a set of 15 glasses. Number 2. 5 in a set of 10 mugs. Okay, take note, class, that all the answers to your activities and to your post-test will be shown at the last part of this video. And here are the answers to the pre-test, recap, and the post-test. And here are the answers to your activities, wrap-up, and value. That is all for today. I hope that you learned a lot in our lesson. See you again next time. God bless you.